Hi, welcome back. I just got back from the gym. I freshly washed my hair, and today, while we get ready together, we're gonna talk about exosomes. So I recently came back from Vegas where they had Cosmoprof, which is this huge beauty convention where all these brands, upcoming brands, smaller indie brands come and they talk about their upcoming products, which ingredients are trending. And this year, there were a lot of key beauty brands there. And so for 3 days, I was just going ham, learning about everything. And exosomes has been something that I've been very interested in learning more about because I haven't really mentioned it before, but I've been a little bit hesitant to try exosomes personally on my skin just because there have been some concerns. Because exosomes are regenerative, so that means your cells are reproducing at a faster rate. There were some concerns about cancer as a side effect. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait for more information to come out, for more brands and products to come out so I can learn about it, research a little bit better before I share, because I didn't want to make any assumptions. I wasn't sure. There were only a few studies that were starting to kind of come into play because exosomes are pretty new. I'd say like within the past year and a half, they've kind of popped up here and there on the market. But they have been around for a long time, just people haven't really been talking about it as much as they are these days. Anyways, I've gathered more information, and so I'm finally ready to share what I've learned. I'm not a doctor, not a scientist, I just love skincare. I'm passing down what I've learned from this great biochemist that I talked to from Exoceuticals. She's on the board. This lady is amazing. She knows her stuff, so I fully trust what she says. She's been working on this brand for literally, I think, over 10 years, and their brand is called Exoceuticals. Exosomes, exo. So she knows her stuff. They literally base their name around that. So today, we're gonna talk all about it. What are they? What products should we be using? What's good for your skin right now? So I just kind of cleanse my face with the Numbazine toner pads, and then I'm going to cool my face down with the Coco Kind Magnesium Mist, which I love. This stuff, if you have eczema, if you have sensitive skin, if you get rashes easily, heat rashes, because I just got a heat rash on the back of my shoulder. I sprayed that, totally calmed it down. And then a little bit of the Stura. I feel like this has kind of been people's replacement for the Laneige cream skin. It hasn't fully replaced mine. I just wanted to use this first. I still use the Laneige cream skin, but I feel like this is just going off. It's having a moment right now, which I love because their auto barrier cream is really good, and they use the same technology into there. I don't want to get too sidetracked and talk about different skincare. First, I just wanted to give a quick breakdown of pdrn versus egfs, which are growth factors, and then exosomes. Why I say that is because the three ingredients are closely related in that their effects are a little bit similar. So pdrn, which is salmon DNA, but they also have plant-based pdrn. This was my first introduction to kind of those collagen boosting ingredients, things that were going to make your skin really smooth, really plump, but that wasn't like exfoliating. These are all just purely hydrating and moisturizing ingredients, but I guess they are like regenerative in a different way. It's not like resurfacing your skin. So pdrn was kind of my first intro to this trio of ingredients I'm talking about today. The first one that I loved is the IOPE pdrn. This is a plant-based pdrn. Pdrn, which has been the most popular for the past couple years. Oh no, no please, just a bit. Trying to get the last bit. Okay, 1 drop will do. pdrn, especially this serum, completely just smooth my skin, plump those fine lines up, because those fine lines aren't necessarily wrinkles, they're just your skin being dehydrated. And pdrn stimulates collagen. It kind of smooths out the skin and plumps it. And that's exactly what I saw in this. Like, I was seeing it from the first week of using this every single day. My skin was looking so good. I would even go as far to say on the third day of using this, my skin was like, how is it so plump? I don't know. And then kind of the second wave of these ingredients was EGFs, and those are growth factors. And at this point, I was still a little bit hesitant to use them because growth factors, they also stimulate collagen, but they're regenerative. So that means that they promote cell growth, which is how you get that really plump skin because your cells are constantly renewing and turning over. And it also stimulates collagen. And the new thing about it that people really liked was that it was really good at wound healing because, again, your cells are regenerating. Your skin is going to heal faster. If you have like a wound or a cut, you would put the EGF product on and it would help your skin heal at a faster rate. And then we are coming to exosomes, and a lot of K-beauty brands especially are integrating this into like their serums. Exosomes are messengers that go from cell to cell and they deliver things like protein, RNA, and this really changed the game because it does everything that EGFs do, everything that pdrn does, and more. So it's kind of like the superstar ingredient at the moment that just does all of these great things for the skin. So it heals wounds, it helps with inflammation, it helps decrease redness, it helps you get that plump, juicy, glowing from within look. And of course, it helps to stimulate collagen. So obviously I wanted to give it a go, but I was a little bit concerned because they have two types of exosomes. They have human exosomes and plant-based exosomes, and I wasn't sure with the human exosomes, was there that concern for too much cell growth? And so I talked to the biochemist, her name is Jody, and she was saying, yes, potentially there is that concern, but if brands are screening the people that they're using the exosomes from properly with strict criteria, you won't have that concern. I was like, okay, so what's the difference between human and plant exosomes? Why is there like two kinds? What's the efficacy difference? And she was like, they did studies and surprisingly found that certain plant exosomes were only slightly less efficient, which means they are basically the same. You're getting the same results from both. So my personal preference would just be to use the plant exosomes because there isn't that concern. That's my understanding based on what we talked about. We had a 3-hour conversation that was so amazing. I wish we could have continued, but I learned so much stuff that just opened my eyes, and I felt really comfortable in trying exosomes. So actually the one that I've been using is the Metacube Sika exosome, and we talked about what are the good exosome products out there because not all plant exosomes are created equal. I'm just gonna do something very light and glowy today, so I'm gonna use my Clio cushion. I feel like out of a lot of the natural dewy cushions I've used, I still just like this one. And actually, I always do this. I got this spot treatment from VT. It's their garlic AC Riedel shot blemish cream because supposedly garlic is supposed to be really good for pimples, which that is a new one for me. Currently, I don't know if you can see like the volume, but here I have this pimple and it's a blind pimple. I get one huge one like once or twice a year. They are so painful, but all of this area is basically just like liquid under my skin. I can't pop it because it's a blind pimple, so it's just like all this fluid buildup and it's really painful. And I've been putting this on every night to kind of do an experiment of does garlic actually work. And because they're Riedel shots, you know, it's kind of those like spicule particles that help the garlic go in. So I've been curious about that. I wanted to put it on, but I forgot and I already put on my sunscreen, but that's okay. I'll just put it on at night again. But yeah, so garlic is one type of plant exosome. I was also like, okay, exosomes do all these things, but how are they doing all these things? And I found out because they are messengers delivering information to the cells, they are like the little influencers of the cells. The information that they're giving cells directly affects how the cells go about what they do. So relieved that I finally got that information settled in my head because I was legitimately worried about that. Like, I didn't want to share any of the products until I knew. So what are the products that we're supposed to be using to get us like the best results? First, we started with pdrn, and she was like, yes, I also love the IOPay pdrn. Personally, I've gone through 3 bottles, and she also was raving about this pdrn essence from VT. I've been using this one. I like it so far. I think I need to use it a little bit longer just to see. But right off the bat, I saw the glowy texture. I was like, oh my gosh. This under makeup, stunning. It will turn even like a matte foundation into like a glowy foundation, which is what I love about skincare, because you can really change how your makeup looks depending on what you layer underneath. And so those 2 were favorites. And then for exosomes, she was saying aloe exosomes are really effective, cica exosomes, like passion fruit, the purple kind, ginseng, ginger. I don't know about garlic, but I assume since it's kind of in that family that it would also be. I don't know. I'll let you know in a couple days. But this one, like I talked about in the reel, my skin was so smooth and plump and juicy the next day. I used it once, and I have to say that I have continued to see really good results. Not as drastic as like that first day, because my skin was just crying out from being in very hot climates, and then I came back and it was just like. Then I've also been trying the exoceuticals. This is a combo of human and aloe exosomes. And because I know that she would not have anything else but a very strict screening process for the human exosomes, I trust this product. I've been using it as well. I do want to kind of space out my testing because I want to see which ones are responsible for which results, and I can't do that if I just use them all at the same time. But this one is called the After Sun treatment. So those are kind of the 4 that I have been using and would recommend trying out. I also have really been liking VT Riedel Shop for the hair. I was talking about this with her, and she was also so excited about it because she's a huge fan of the Riedel Shop for the face. And I think the hair one is basically the same thing. They just put it in a tube so it's easier for you to use. But let's continue on with the makeup. I find it really hard to multitask, especially talking when you need to think important thoughts. I can't do makeup at the same time. But I just did a light layer of this S-Bar Dewy Blush that I made at the store in Seoul. This one is just so nice because I put most of the blush as this very shimmery, dewy highlight liquid as the base to make sure that the finish was just very milky skin, very glass-like. And I'm putting some blush over top. It's the Fui Pudding Pot in the shade My. This has been my go-to shade. They have like, I want to say like 50 shades. It's crazy. But there is an undertone and shade for everyone. Not only is the texture really fun, but the finish is so natural. You only need the tiniest bit and it goes such a long way. Just really love this shade. And I think I'm gonna do a little bit of concealer. This is NARS Vanilla Light 2. I never really got around to like their pot concealers, even though these were all the rage in like 2015. I don't know, I don't really use a lot of concealer these days because my under eyes are so dry. And unless it's a super hydrating concealer, it will like crease and crust up because I have dry patches on the tops of my cheeks, which are so annoying. But I like this one. It is a full coverage concealer, so I only need a little bit and then I kind of shear it out. But I want to know, what kind of role have exosomes played in your skincare routines recently? Have you been using them? Have you been curious? Doing a little bit of the NARS eye primer. I just love a pot product. I feel like the creaminess goes really well with dry skin. I don't know, just, oh, I totally forgot I was wearing eyeliner. Okay. When I'm not lazy doing my blush, I love this combo. So I do the Fui, and I just put a little bit of this YSL blush in shade 69. This is not a blush shade for every skin tone. It is way too light, even for me, as a blush, but I use it as a blush topper because I like that look of having that bright lilac underneath your eyes, but I don't always want to use like a powder to get that effect. So I just put a little bit on the tops and kind of underneath my eyes, and you just get a brightening effect that's not quite blush. It's not quite color. It's just bright, and I love that look. So when I'm not lazy, I will do that. You know what's great? Now with my newfound knowledge of exosomes, I can go back to Korea, which I actually am making one more trip back in the fall. I'm gonna go ham at Olive Young because I know like their innovation, I don't know how they do it. It's lightning fast. And so they probably will have so many exosome products on the shelves. I'll just be in Olive Young for like 3 hours. Also, something exciting may or may not be on the horizon. This Fenty Matchstick in Amber Suede as a contour, so good for cool undertones. I also used their mini one in the shade Amber. It's a little bit more gray than Amber Suede, but I also really like that one. I just feel like these blend so quickly. You don't even really need to know where exactly to place your contour. It will just blend. You know what I've also been trying to do to help my skin? I've been trying to eat well. And by eating well, I mean not eating good. That's different. I've been trying to eat good, as in high protein, high fiber, get my vegetables in. And that's because I want the protein to help my collagen synthesis in my body, to help boost my skin. You know what I get for all that work? I get this fat pimple. Yes, eat healthy, but also more of the story is treat yourself because you're gonna get a giant pimple anyway. I've brought back my RMS highlight. I just got a new one, and this was, I think, my first creamy highlight that I ever used. And I just love that it's simple. It doesn't have like glitter in it. It's just this subtle shimmer. Every time I use a favorite product, I'm reminded I should use that more often. I think we are, lip, duh. And for eyeliner, I did a sparkly black liner. I don't know if it comes up. The Thrive Sparkling Liquid Eyeliner in black. It's the shade Dominique. Their eye products are so good. Like, my makeup bag is just all Thrive eye products. Thrive mascara, Thrive eyebrow pencil. The shade Serena, I finally learned my lesson to not use black on my eyebrows. Lash glue. This lash glue is so good. I used to get these bad reactions from my other lash glue. It would literally give me like hives and eczema. This one is waterproof and it sticks. Your lashes aren't gonna fall off. I'm gonna do a little bit prep with the Violette Balm Amour. If you like the Ulla Henriksen balms, the topicals one, but you want something like less sticky, more hydrating, this stuff, oh my gosh. I've been using it every single day. My lips just bathe in it, they live in it. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of the lip tint from Violette in Batiste. Just a little, it's kind of like a moisturizing balm slash tint slash gloss. My favorite shade is the kind of terracotta looking one. It looks like terracotta, but when you put it on your lips, it's a nude shade. Really love that one. Of course, I just have so many things in my makeup bag. Anyways, finishing touches. Astura. This is also one of my makeup secrets when I want extra dewy makeup. And even the highlight isn't doing it for me. I will spray this one last time before I leave the house. And my skin just looks so good and fresh. It's kind of like you did your makeup, but doesn't quite look like foundation. I just love that look so much. I was gonna do eyeshadow because I really like this palette at the moment. But we're just gonna do liner today. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that is all for the exosome products. I hope that answers some of the basic questions about exosomes. I will link all the ones that I talked about below, in addition to, of course, all the products that I used. Oh, I can't forget. I'm just gonna do a little splash of dewy bronzer. Yep, they have a dewy bronzer these days too. This is the Ilia Eclipse cream bronzer. Ready to start my day. Ready to review some other makeup. A lot of cool launches have been coming in. So I think maybe I'll do another sit down chatty, get ready with me for those. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!